complete the arcade route. What's the last save I have? This one. Is it this one? This is 10-12. Yeah, it should be this one, I assume. None of us know what to say. Of course you don't. Should have chosen Aki. Uncomfortable silence continues. You know, in this route, what I'm noticing is he's suffering much less. Thus far, at least. For example, in the other route, in the one where Seal and Arcade were there together, and I assume that's the Seal route, pretty much. I'm pretty sure he had to suffer a lot more because he was taken to Seal's house rather than taken to his own house. And that just made him even more anxious. He wouldn't have died there. It's just he thinks he would have died there, and that made it even worse. Tried to find solace, and that made it even worse. The uncomfortable silence continues. Ahem, can't bear the silence any longer and force out that cough. In the first place, why did you send me that grim familiar thing? Does she angry at me for killing you? That's not it at all. Saying thanks for defeating Dash. I really am grateful to you. I thought I'd be extremely happy. Thanks, I'll pass on that kind of thanks. Having that kind of portage is what a vampire's thinking. Slump my shoulders. I don't know what she's mad about, but she looks at me with a dissatisfied expression. Was that all about you, Minnie? I know I'm not human. Okay, she turns away and starts walking off. Hey, hold on, where are you going? It has nothing to do with you, don't fall. Okay, we're back here again. She really that angry Arcade walks away without even turning around. Or did she plan on going anyway? Maybe I did say too much, no matter what the results were or the methods used. She really thanked me with good intentions. Start to feel intense regret and think that maybe I should have just accepted her gift happily. I don't think so. Getting guilt tripped. Come on, cocklord. Come on, soy. Damn it, why is it that I just can't leave Arcade alone? Hey, I said wait. Okay. Surrounded by the night, Arcade walks down the street. She looks straight ahead while her white fingers with golden hair fluttering bears a horrible resemblance to the first time I saw her. Nor perhaps it's like the time she faced off with Dash. For some reason I have a bad feeling about this. Arcade continues to walk without turning around. Want to talk to you, you can at least tell me what you're going to do. Of course, Arcade just continues walking without turning around. It'd be miserable if I left it like this. I decide to follow her silently for now. The footsteps echo through the night air, and then Arcade suddenly stops and turns around. Don't follow me, don't you understand? It's troubling for a normal person like you to follow me around. Tell me what you're going to do and I'll go back. Doesn't concern you, so leave me alone. Arcade tries off once more. You are very wrong. Crap. Seems like our wildest wandering is going to continue. When we approach the main street, Arcade freezes. Found it. Eh? Her voice is cold like a totally different person's. Ah. A chill runs up my spine. Even from behind I can feel the hostility manifesting itself in her. Arcade, what are you? I can't even finish. It's clear what she intends to do without saying anything. Without a doubt, there is nothing but the pure and unadulterated intent to kill. Hey, what are you thinking? Arcade doesn't answer. Her eyes are fixed solemnly on a man in a business suit walking by. So I wonder... Okay, this is a very problematic thought process. And it's going to lead to nothing. Okay. There's a fixed only when a man in a business is walking by. Shiki, take off your glasses and look at that person. That person, you mean that businessman? Hurry. If you want to know what I'm doing, then leave the questions for later. Alright. I don't like to look well in town, but take off my glasses. Gah. Instantly a light headache springs forth. In exchange for the pain, I can see lines running all along the walls and the ground. Another question, Shiki. You only see points on living things, right? Yeah, that seems to be true. Things like buildings only have lines. Saw them back during the time in that hotel, but at the cost of a headache that almost caused me to pass out. Right, since you're a living being, you can't comprehend the death of inanimate objects. So in order to see the death of inanimate objects, you must first connect to a circuit of the same orientation as them. To see, you have to comprehend them first. Then another question. Shiki, how does that person look to you? It'll just be the same as always. Not thinking, I step backwards. What is that? Certainly all humans have lines on them, but they only have countable amounts and they also look like geometric patterns. But what is that? There are lines running all through him. These lines are all over him like blood vessels, so much that I can't even make out his appearance. Gah, I want to puke. Those black lines, scribbles making a human shape everywhere throughout. I can see black points that look like they're sowing blood. Shiki, how does it look? I was hoping it would look normal to you. Can't answer. Right now it takes all my strength just not to vomit. I see. Unfortunate that you can see even the death on that thing. Yeah, it's not normal, but I can still see the lines. I knew it, you can kill the dead. The fact that they don't have any life has no meaning for you. Something that moves, something that breaks, you can stop it completely without exception. You're more of a monster, Shiki. As you saw, you can't call that thing human anymore. It's a vampire that sees death by sucking the blood of other people. Arcade quickens her steps. She walks straight towards the man. Hey Arcade, stay there, Shiki. With that young man realized Arcade was there, he starts running towards the back alley. Okay. Fucking hell. Okay. Arcade strides gently. Underneath the moonlight, she disappears into the alley. Thump. The sound of my heartbeat is awfully close. It's not even real late at night. Though I'm in the middle of a bustling shopping district, I can't sense anyone besides myself. Thump. My glasses, I have to put on my glasses. If I don't do that, I'll see terrible things. I'll see something so terrible that everything I've seen so far will be nothing in comparison to it. Thump. But my body won't move. My eyes that can see this patchwork will look towards that alley in fascination. Suddenly sounds vanish. In the presence of other people, the sound of the wind and the smell of the dirt. All of it freezes. Under the frozen moon, a bizarre noise sounds from the other side of the wall. Go. No way I can see it, I can't hear anything. A sickening sound, but I can see it. My eyes definitely see the sound of death and death crashing. Gah. My vision turns crimson. Why do my eyes see death, something that shouldn't be able to be seen? My glasses. I have to put on my glasses or I'll go insane. I held back the rising gorge in my throat and used my shaking hand to put on my glasses. Sound and light return. Now that I'm calm, I glance around and see nothing out of the ordinary in this shopping district. He's this fucked over despite having the glasses. So imagine Shiki. I mean Yogi Shiki. The bustling of many people passing by. The brightness of his stores, decorated show window and the sound of rushing car engines. Panting excessively, I can hardly breathe. Even though I put my glasses back on, I can still feel the lingering remnant of that death and it makes me sick. Arcade walks out from the alley with faltering steps, breathing even harder than I am. Shiki, I see you're still here. Shoulders heaving up and down, she passes by me. Her body sways back and forth and she walks weakly as if she was sick. To be honest, I still feel nauseous, but seeing Arcade in pain like that makes me bear it. Wait, what in the world? Fine, just a little tired, so don't worry. Really doesn't consider you shaky. Idiot, if you're tired, then rest. With such a weird face, you can't be fine. As I breathe shallowly for air, I grab Arcade's arm. Hey now, you say that, but you look like you'll collapse too. It's just my anemia. If you have time to worry about me, worry about your health. It's fine. There's no point in worrying about it anyway. Her breathing really is weak. Don't tell me that wound from that time. It hasn't healed, but I can't bring myself to finish. It's because she got it saving me. She doesn't answer and looks down. There is information rather than disagreement. As to what are you doing in your condition? You have to take it easy and you'll fully healed. Do you think I'm taking it easy? No, you're not, even if you are at a level beyond humans. What in the world were you doing earlier in your condition? Just can't leave her be. I knew it. Just can't leave this person who's always getting into trouble alone. Don't be silent and answer me until you tell me I won't go away. Grasp both of her shoulders. Still looking down, she gives a slight nod. This you really are processing. Fine, let's get someone else to talk. There isn't so she waveringly starts to walk away. I don't think she was this fucked over that time. Maybe this is because she used dash Nervunks or whatever the fuck to heal Shiki. As if walking restored her strength, her face looks as cheerful as always. Well, as you wish, Shiki. I'll talk about whatever you want. I don't know where her previous weakness went, but she looks really haughty all of a sudden. Oh, okay, dude. Then I'll ask, what was that guy earlier? You said he was a vampire, but was he what you were after? No, he certainly is part of my target, but putting the dead back into the grave isn't my goal. Only got him because he was a minion of my enemy. If I left him alone, he would kill more people to increase his power. Argued, could you explain it so I can understand? I don't even know if that guy was even human or not. Oh, I guess I never really did explain to you in detail about vampires. Dash was sort of an aberration amongst the vampire race, so I didn't really need to explain it at that time. What is a normal vampire then? What I mean is what you all think of vampires. Immortal, never aging, sucking human blood, turning that human into a vampire, being destroyed by sunlight, all of that. My enemy is that old type of vampire. So you mean this enemy of yours is the one behind all the serial killings? I suppose, but the killing of all those people by sucking their blood might be the work of the dead, like the one you saw earlier. Shiki, remember how Dash's body was made up of all of those familiars, right? Yeah, that's not exactly something I can easily forget. The dead are like that. When humans have their blood sucked by a vampire, they can also receive some of the vampire's blood. They die but remain in this world as a servant of the vampire. They are called the dead and they are like the vampire's familiars. Maybe it's easier to understand if I use the word zombie. It's closer to the voodoo belief in Haiti, where the white serpent god Dambala is invoked to control the dead body, but let's just say a dead body that moves is a zombie, okay? Yeah, I can visualize it better this way. I guess the man of skill where vampire uses him as a zombie. Yes, Arcade nods happily. I'm still confused though. Why would a vampire do that? Killing people, not letting them die, but controlling them with bad taste. You're right, those vampires do have bad taste, but that's something that the apostles do. Those that were also vampires from the beginning do not do such things. All those vampires from the very beginning? I remember. You said there's two types of vampires, those who were vampires originally and those who were humans. When I heard that before, it kind of stuck in my head. I thought it was a little odd. So what exactly do you mean by those who weren't originally vampires? Simply, I'm just saying that dead apostles used to be humans. They either gained immortality through magic or became servants of the true ancestors that sucked their blood. Shiki, you said it was bad taste to killed humans, but that's just the least of it. There are other vampires who think of worse games. A game, what is that? You have skill for fun and use their dead bodies as toys? I won't deny that. For vampires, amusement is the same as breathing. For those who were once human but gain imperfect immortality, their greatest enemy is boredom. They didn't have a reason to become immortal to start with, so once they gained immortality, they lost all kinds of greed. Their goal was immortality itself, so I guess that's just the way things are. Their boards say they want to play. Don't be ridiculous. Isn't it enough that they won't age or die? Do they really need anything else? That's what I said. They got everything they wanted. After that, there is no meaning to existence. As soon as someone realizes they have no value, that their life is stopped, then their meaning of existence disappears too. Immortality is also another word for death. So they started to wear down and they started to create their own amusement as if to tell themselves they could have fun as long as they lived. That's their beginning. They copy humans and see themselves using game as lords of a castle expanding their territory. I guess you could call it a country of the dead. Seems they got more enjoyment out of that than they expected. She speaks as if she was talking of other people. Our kid should be one of those, but she clearly does seem like she has that sort of hobby. Well, we'll change the topic, but the apostles were originally human. There are a few cases where they became vampires through their own magical research, but the majority of them were humans who had their blood sucked. They're immortal, but they can't last forever. They can only be immortal if they drink the blood of others. Didn't I say their immortality was imperfect? They can't feed on humans, and their immortality is gone. Wait a minute, isn't that not? In order to become immortal, they drink the blood of humans, but doesn't that mean new dead apostles will be born every time they do that? That's true, but things get complex from here. The people who have their blood sucked die, but at the same time, if the dead apostles place a little of their blood inside the corpse, the body cannot die. Those bodies that are unable to die stay a number of years in the grave, and when the brain decays and the skull is fixated in the body, they become a flesh-eating corpse, ghoul. Only 1 out of every 100 people have this potential, so not everyone gets to stay. Well, there are those that have a natural ability to step up this progress and become a vampire immediately, but this is so rare it's out of the question. So the dead bodies that become ghouls eat the flesh of other corpses in order to sustain their decayed body parts. After restoring their body fully, they can become zombies, numbers of the class of living corpses, the living dead. So they become ghouls and then they can't even eat normal humans. They kill the humans and then eat their flesh. My fucking god. Witcher lore, man. So these living dead, is that the dead from before? Not at all. The dead are just puppets. The living dead are much weaker than the dead. But they are members of the vampire race with a will of their own. They are on a different level than those manipulated dead. And after many years, once a living dead is able to restore its intelligence, it becomes a vampire. There's probably about only one of every 10,000 who have this ability. Said it before, but the more potential you have, the higher the success rate to stay. Call the dead apostles the ones that make all these kinds of vampires. Lastly, Lord, if this game goes on, then won't the world be overflowing with vampires eventually? Not necessarily. The dead apostles usually get killed by the new vampires they created. Didn't I say it before? They act like humans. For their own enjoyment, they place their own blood inside the humans they preyed upon. These corpses go through the 1 out of tens of thousands rate to become vampires and eventually kill their parent vampires, becoming a new dead apostle themselves. Like knights becoming lords through strength of arms and killing the king, they can only survive by playing those sorts of games. I don't really understand why, but I guess that stops them from dying of boredom. The whims of an existence close to a devil, I suppose. Even if they are immortal, if they can't hold on to their meaning for existence, it is an empty immortality. Arcade remarks oscillated as she slumps her shoulders. I see, then that dead that you killed earlier, that was something like a soldier of the dead apostles? Not so much a soldier as a puppet. The dead apostles control the dead bodies by skipping the process of becoming a vampire. The dead are completely connected to their parent vampire. In order for them to survive, they attack others to eat their flesh, but more than half of that energy goes to their master. Like a queen bee nourished by the worker bees, the dead apostles can use the dead to increase their power while they sleep. My enemy can be found easily because he's using a lot of the dead. He only dirties his hands once. After that, he simply controls the dead while he sleeps and expands his territory. They say many bodies are found in recent supposed serial killings, but those are actually just failures. To tell the truth, there are over 100 victims in this city. but only a small amount the ones discovered are the victims in the news. Huh? Over 100? There are that many that had the blood sucked, and all those people suck the blood of others to make them into monsters like themselves, like that wandering lifeless thing earlier. That's ridiculous. 3 days ago, I remember how all these people in the hotel were killed for no reasons. I was there, but I didn't see it, so I can only visualize and can't really tell what kind of violence it was. It's still the same. I can't fathom the existence of vampires that suck human blood just to increase their own territory. Just without reason, without even recognition. If someone close to me died like that, how would I react? Don't want to imagine it just a bit, but just a bit. Imagine Akia being drained of blood and discarded like trash. That what makes me mad is that this worst case scenario could happen at any minute in this town, and I didn't even have a clue about it before. I knew it would be angry, Shiki. If I didn't want to talk about it because for the prey for you guys is an inexcusable evil. For people like you, the actions of the vampires are inexcusable. That's right, that's just also ridiculous. Even if it's people I don't know about, they have their past and even the dreams they hoped for. Even I don't want to be killed just for the fun of it. That's just too regretful, it's so meaningless. That's all just so regretful, isn't it? That's right, all those people were killed by Dash in the midst of fear and chaos. Were their last thoughts full of regretful sadness that night in the park. The girl who was killed by Dash when she passed by the park by sheer coincidence. She didn't even realize when she died. That meaninglessness, the abruptness of its ending, or that no one else even knows about. When it happened, I was broken apart with the complete irrationality of it all. My fear of Dash disappeared, and more than anything else, I hated him. Can't accept it. No matter what the reason, I can't accept it. I grit my teeth. Shiki, there is no reason. For them, it's just a game. That's why it's ridiculous. It's just a game to you all. Dash and this other guy, what do they think human life is? They come up with this game because they think it's nothing. When I can't understand how they think, nor do I intend to. But if you ask who is at fault here, it's the weaker one, right? In the end, those that are killed are at fault. It's all the will of nature, and those who are unable to protect themselves are killed. What? But Shiki, if you talk about it that way, your human species is really strong. The ability to make up for their weakness as a species with other things that makes them the strongest in a way. Probably the only way that can kill the greatest creature called the world are you humans. But even though they are strong as a species, they are weak as individuals. They can't live without sacrificing the lives of those not of their race, which is the ultimate evil, is it not? It doesn't matter if they have the intelligence or not. For you guys, everything is fair game. For food, does it not? So the ones doing the killings are always right. If there is a sin, then it is you guys not being able to protect yourself under that rule. That's just the argument of the strong. Humans aren't as strong as you are. Because you can't protect yourselves fully, that's why you have to live together to help each other. I don't know what to do if someone like you guys came in, and that's true. That's your defense mechanism. Since you can't protect yourself when those kinds of species enter your group, you guys make rules to ensure that are unable to enter. Yes, it's just like you say, Shiki. So usually this stone's case doesn't happen. You may not know it, but your human race is really strong. You have erected a defense mechanism against those races which far exceed yours. If it was functioning properly, the city would not have had a vampire these last 8 years. Defense mechanism? Yes, the reason vampires hide the bodies of their victims and stay out of sight isn't because they don't want to be known to humans. To protect their own lives, they conceal their identity and expand their territory. Why did she say 8 years back there? They don't want it to be known that vampires exist at all. If they move freely about, the defense mechanism would arrive. Well, they probably haven't arrived, even though that modern day vampire news is going on, because this is an atheist country. Her word choice is too unique and I can't really grasp what she's saying. But you can relax, Shiki. Even if their avowed enemies are not in this country, I'm here right now. Indeed, earlier my purpose was to execute vampires. To know where that heavy atmosphere went, because Arcade instantly becomes cheerful. Yeah, I remember, but you're a vampire too, right? Why do you side with the humans? Not really siding with humans, I mean, I'm doing it because I don't have anything else to do. Since I have anything else to do, I still don't understand her. Well, doing that does bring the dead bosses after me. But you beat Dash, who was pursuing me, didn't you, Shiki? So now I can go back to the original plan and defeat my enemy. You can go back to living your normal life now, and you don't have to associate with me anymore. Smiles as if she's happy about something. Ah, yeah, that makes me happy, but are you okay by yourself? Those words float in the back of my head. There's something wrong with me. Feeling guilty about letting her face danger all by herself. There really has to be something wrong with me. Shiki, why are you making that troubled face again? Because I'm troubled. This is something that knows the city I live in. Said you shouldn't worry. In 2 or 3 days it'll all be over. There won't be any more victims. Yeah, honestly, I don't want to be involved, but saying that line shouldn't I though I'm actually living in this city, say that line instead of Arcade. Arcudum, can I ask you a question? This enemy you speak of, is he strong? Well, he should be many times superior than the dead earlier. I haven't met him this time, but he has been latent for 8 years, so maybe he's a class 5 by now. Saying he's stronger than the dead before. Looking like she was in so much fun for fighting this shame, isn't she taking a little too lightly? Class 5, I don't get it, but does that mean he's stronger than Dash? Not a chance, Dash was special. He was a pure supreme vampire that would be difficult to defeat even with my full power. Compared to him, this enemy is pretty weak. Oh, then there's no way you'll be defeated. I breathe out in relief. Who knows? A few days earlier and he wouldn't be a problem, but now I'm just recovering. Possibly that his more powers are actually high. Recovering, are you sick or something, Arcade? Yeah, I still have the effects from when you killed me and I don't think I'll be fine for at least a few more days. Ah. That's right, the reason why Arcade is weak, it isn't anyone's fault but mine. Arcade light it as aside. Seems the wounds don't heal like usually. I could manage the outside, but I can't seem to heal the inside. That wound as well, the one she received to save me. I'm at a loss for words. It's completely my fault she's in that position, so why? Why doesn't she hold it against me? Why does she just give me that innocent smile? You need to stop and until you heal up, you should just rest. If you take a day or 2 off, things won't be that bad, so... That's no good. Thanks for Dash coming. The enemy knows I'm here. If I rest, that's just like telling him I'm weakened. So you're saying you're going to keep on going like this? Yeah, since I don't know where the enemy's lair is, I have to keep destroying his blood supply. If I cut that off, it will force him to come out. Arcade, what if that's tomorrow? Wouldn't you be killed instead? Then, to tell her to stop, but I helped mid-sentence. Like Arcade says, if the enemy sees that weakness, Arcade might be killed. More than anything I learned from the past 4 days. Arcade isn't someone to stop halfway, and once she's decided to do something, no matter how much it hurts. Damn. Arcade won't stop. If I leave her alone, she probably won't even be able to talk like this anymore. Makes me mad, but she's not even afraid of her own death. Is that so? Why does she smile like that? She doesn't smile like that. If she acted more like a real vampire, I wouldn't have to feel like this. What's wrong, Shiki? Your body is shaking. Do you need to go to the bathroom? Why are you so relaxed? Damn it. Don't want to lose her. Don't know what this feeling is, but these past 4 days are not something I can just forget about. So to part here with the possibility she may die tomorrow, the regret will be completely, utterly, unbearably difficult. Give me a break. My eyes are already broken, but my head's going to break as well. Ark is a vampire and you don't want to be involved with something like that again. Remember that fight with Dash? Just thinking about it sends chills down my spine. The fear of being one step away from that still remains. This is the same, definitely the opponent this time is normal. There's really no need for me to be involved. Since Arcade is saying she'll handle it, I can rely on her. But even knowing all of that, I can't. I just can't leave her alone. Damn, what the hell is wrong with me? I clicked around. I'm angry at myself for not accepting any reasoning or excuses. What? What's wrong, Shiki? Getting so angry like that all of a sudden. Yeah, I'm just angry at my stupidity. Well, I want to say this after all that which happened to me. I feel more mad now that I actually say it. Being this stupid, I know if I could see myself in a mirror, I'd break it to pieces. Hey, really, what's wrong, Shiki? You're not acting normal. Yeah, I'm not. If I was acting normal, I wouldn't say this. I spit. I really don't want to admit it, but sorry, you're done, dude. Because mouth has already confirmed it for me. I just can't understand it, Shiki. What is it? You keep saying you're going to say something, but what is it? It's just too incredibly socially awkward Andy speaking. This is so fucked up. Actually pretty good. After body heals, I'll help you. That's what the stupid fool Tonoshiki wants to say. Eh? Aki looks at me in total surprise. As for me finally saying it kind of calms me down. Shiki, is that for real? I groaned. I didn't hear it. Please, can you say it again? Motherfucker! I groaned more. No matter how much I regret it, it's done. Instead, I found my feelings into words. I can't lie to myself any longer. Hurry, I want to hear those words again. Archie asked softly. Looking off in the distance, I tried to sound reluctant. I guess it can't be helped. It's my fault that you're weak and now, and I can't leave that monster ruining the sweets alone either. Can't you learn to be taking care of it by yourself? So if you let me, I want to help you. That's what I said. Shiki, Archie's eyes suddenly alight. She grabs my hand and happily shakes it up and down. Well, I may not be that helpful, but it has to be better than nothing. Yeah, if you are helping me, there's nothing to be afraid of. He keeps shaking my hand up and down. He got fucking manipulated. He 100% got manipulated. Come on. She does seem happy. But what do we do now? Do you want to search for more of the dead like before? Yeah, I think that's all we can do for now. The one before was the 12th, so I don't think there's much more. Parent vampire will have to come out once they all are destroyed, so we have to hunt the remaining ones for now. BRB, I gotta take a Yeah, I think that's all we can do for now. The one before was the 12th, so I don't think there's much more. Band Vampire will have to come out once all the shares, so we have to hunt the remaining ones for now. Hmm. Is that still okay? She asks. I think it's fine, I'm just with you. If you leave, then I'll follow. Or shall we start again? I know that's good for tonight. They usually follow a fixed route, and the other dead will probably not be out tonight. Since they're fewer in number, I don't think he'll let them all come out at once. Oh really? But doesn't that mean this enemy will try to hide the dead from your kid? Basically. But since this enemy is a vampire, he needs to steal the blood and energy of others. So even though he knows I'm searching for them, he has to send the dead out to get the minimal blood he needs. Sigh. Then the minimal dead he sent out was that man from before, huh? So searching further tonight will be useless, I think. Well, I don't mind, but it is tedious though. Yeah, hunting vampires is tedious work. We have to find the coffin of the enemy somewhere in the city, so it won't be easy. Arcade lets go of my hand and jumps back softly. Arcade? That's a good bet for tonight. We'll meet tomorrow. The dance next step, she watches me as she gets farther away. Tomorrow, wait, where should we meet? Here's fine. The time, yeah, around 10 o'clock should be just fine. With a smile, she makes that promise. Good night, Shiggy. I'll see you tomorrow. And with her hand, Arcade disappears. I get back to the mansion. As it is very late, the mansion is completely dark. This can't be good. Put my hand on the mansion gate. Ka-chan. A steady chain holds it closed. Dang. Shouldn't cut this. Think a bit. Then I decide to climb over the gate. I'm exhausted. After sneaking over the wall like a thief, I quietly make my way to the doorway. The gate was locked, but the door isn't. Must have been Hisui. Give a sigh of thanks. So as not to wake Akiha, Kawaku-san or Hisui, I sneak my way to the mansion. Phew. Getting out of bed, I lay down on my bed. Promise to Arcade, maybe it's fate, but you've gotten yourself taken up and rolling again, Tonoshiki. Could I help it? I just can't leave her alone. Maybe I didn't want to leave her alone. But I do think she's pretty. I don't understand my feelings right now. Right now I'm not too sure what is right and what is wrong. At any rate, it looks like I'll be helping Arcade once again starting tomorrow. So for now I shouldn't think of anything else but getting a good night's sleep. Eyes of Death Perception. Back then the whole mansion was like a giant playground, the garden, a deep forest, the house, a tall castle. Played in our own little world which would take days to explore. Every day was fun. No one thought about ever growing up, and we believed that days and nights would always be the same. It was just a childhood spent playing like puppies. We got along wonderfully and were the best of playmates. I don't want to... Fucking Jerry Lawler. My god. Whenever I turned back, Akia would be there waving her hands and hiding shyly. Yes, always the same. At the time, the mansion was a giant playground. The garden a deep forest, the house a tall castle. We played in our own little world which would take days to explore. Slowly awakened and opened my eyes. The morning light wraps around me and my sleepiness starts to lift. As the last vestiges clear, I sense that I had a very nostalgic dream. As soon as I open my eyes, I start to see those terrible things jump into my vision. My head stabs with pain. Scramble for the glasses by my pillow and put them on. I take in some air. After taking a few deep breaths, I manage to calm down. Why did I? So early. She was lying so early, so clearly this early in the morning. It's difficult to see the lines of death in buildings. It's usually hard to see them, and seeing them so clearly like I just did now is rare. What's more, I even saw those points. I think my headache is getting worse too. Since I said these eyes would attract things that weren't good, I think Arcade and his vampires are certainly not good. So maybe it's all affecting my eyes and making them stronger. Can't be. I'm probably just tired. Please excuse me. Hisui enters and greets me with a bow. Morning, Hisui. Yes, good morning, Shiki-sama. Hisui brings my uniform as usual, but I can tell she's a bit angry. The reason doesn't need to be said. She must be angry over yesterday because I didn't get back until very late, worked my way into my room and slept. You see, last night, Shiki-sama doesn't need to give me any excuses. Answering quickly, she starts walking towards the door. Then please excuse me. My son has prepared your breakfast, so please hurry to the sitting room. This is so sad. Yeah, I planned on doing so. And she's Samakia, someone would like to talk to you about your late return last night. So please hurry to the sitting room. She shuts the door emotionlessly. Well, come to think of it, this is a perfectly natural result. Akia is the only one in the sitting room. Kokusan is in the kitchen humming away. Akia doesn't say anything when she sees me and sips her tea quietly. Hey, good morning, Akia. Try to greet her as naturally as I can. Akia's eyebrow twitches, so she places her teacup down and slowly looks at me. Good morning, Nisan. It was quite late when you came home last night, wasn't it? No, not really. It was mostly a little past 1 o'clock, quite normal for a healthy young man in high school to be upright. I see my bedtime is also past midnight, so I was up at that time. But I would come home much earlier than that. Well, there were some pressing circumstances and I couldn't get back, but I returned, so... Yes, very late at night and you went back to your room, without saying anything or without making a noise. Goodness, you acted like you were out doing something you felt guilty over. Let's just pure ice. This is the second time and I'm sure even though Akia looks calm, she's quite angry. Nishan, I don't know what went on at the Arima house, but here the curfew is 8 o'clock. We should rule that must not be broken. The gate will be locked after that, so please don't climb in like a robber. Oh, you know, the surveillance camera showed me quite clearly. It's a good thing Kaku realized it was you and turned off the alarm system, because otherwise you would probably be detained right now. Oh, I should thank Kaku-san then. And Maki, I'm sorry. You shouldn't have kept quiet about it. If you understand that it is fine, please make sure you observe your curfew from now on. I'll overlook it this time. About that, Akia. What is it? This is a little hard to say. I'll have something to do tonight too. I don't know when I will be back, but I'm not going to do anything bad. Akia's gaze tightens. Kohako. She suddenly stands up. Kohaku-san comes in from the kitchen. Yes, what is it, Akia-sama? I'll be going to school, get the preparations ready. Huh? But I have not yet made Shiki-san's breakfast. You can leave this person alone. It seems he can do everything by himself. Akia stretches towards the lobby. Kohaku-san sighs. Shiki-san, you should not make Akia-sama so upset. You're her big brother, so please treat her better, okay? Saying that, she walks after Akia. The teacup sits still steaming. Well, in short, I'm left by myself to calmly consider the situation. Guess I'm skipping breakfast today. Yeah, no doubt. I should stop by a convenience store on the way and buy some bread. Fourth period class is about modern society. The mood in the classroom is somewhat lighter than usual before lunch. Today is Wednesday, so there's one less hour of classes than usual. After lunch, there's some 1 hour of deciding what to do for the culture festival. What's more, tomorrow is a school holiday, so after this fourth period is over, it's practically vacation already. It's only natural for everyone to be waiting for the end of class bell to ring. Sleepy, I give a long. Class is completely unchanged. The whole day progresses with nothing out of the ordinary. Come to think of it, I've been through so many strange experiences. I almost feel odd just sitting in class. After classes are over and night falls, I'll have to go out once more with Arkio. Thinking of that, I really don't have the time to be fooling around here. I look at my reflection in the window glass. Tonishiki's face seemed to be happy for some reason. You're that in my expression. It's not like roaming the streets with Arkio is fun, so why am I acting like this? Arkio, there's really something wrong. Looking out the window and into the rear courtyard, I can see an illusion of her waving a hand at me and saying, hey, wait a minute. I push myself onto the window and look down. I can only see the very edge of the rear courtyard, but without a doubt, Arkio done her usual manners at my school. I look around the classroom. Fortunately, there's no one who noticed the strange foreigner waving to me. What is she thinking? I moan to myself as I clutch my head. Complaining does me no good. There's about 20 minutes till lunch. What are we going to do, Shiki? If you leave her alone, who knows what she'll do. Pray that she doesn't do anything until classes are over and kill or ignore her. Go to the courtyard now. That's right. Preventable disasters should be stopped before they happen. Before she can start any interesting trouble, I have to take her off the school grounds. Since I feel my enemy are coming, so I need to leave. Raise my hand, and after getting permission from the teacher, fly out of the classroom. Oh mega lol. Perfect excuse. You're here. That was a very fast sprint. You're looking pretty lively this morning, Shiki. My jaw hangs wide open as I sprint into the courtyard. I could grease with the usual radiance. Smaller than I expected. I thought a school would be much bigger than this. I grab Arkyo's arm. You come with me. Looking Arkyo behind me, I dash to a place where people won't see us. Hey, what are you doing taking me here all of a sudden? This place is no fun at all. Like you seem to be disappointed in the place, but it's not like the school is a really interesting place to begin with. What are you doing? That's my line, Arkyo. Let go of her arm and thrust my index finger towards her face. Eh? What do you mean? I'm asking why you were walking around here during daytime and why you came to my school. You haven't even healed yet, so why can't you just settle down and rest? But since you said you would help me, I thought you'd look for clues during the day. I didn't want to make you do any extra work. Don't worry about that. Since I said I'd help, and any extra work we'll do together, so just forget about it. Use your weekends during the middle of the day, I just you'll leave. You just enjoy making me worry. I'm sorry. As long as you understand, it's okay. Okay. Sorry for making me worry. No, actually, thanks. My heart beats loudly. Actually, apologizing like this is a bit of ordinary, but I think they're... Okay, dude. Weird temperature at fault, Yoshiki. I was watching for the longest time from the courtyard, but you never noticed me. Okay. That's... Fuck you, man. That is fucking infuriating. Oh my god. Okay, Dynasty Andy, fuck you. You know how to get inside, so I was thinking about dashing up to where you are. Dash up, you mean to my classroom on the third floor? Yes, footing wouldn't be difficult on the veranda and it's really easy to jump up there. I take it all back, as usual she completely lacks any common sense. Good, that wouldn't have been pretty if she did that. I breathe a sigh of relief. Don't think many people notice her. In the first place, there's only a few desks that can look out into the courtyard. And? So why the heck did you come to my school? You said you were looking for clues. I just felt something from around here, and then I picked up your scent and realized it was your school. So you weren't thinking you just came for no reason. I give a frown. Is she a dog or something? Well, excuse me, I came here for a reason. There's hardly any traces of the dead here, so I wanted to see it for myself. Really? But there's no traces of the dead. If there's no traces of the dead here, shouldn't this place be unimportant? There's no one at school at night, so if the dead want some prey, they would go downtown, not to a school. Well, that does make sense. There's nothing strange here. I don't really sense the dead, but since my eyes see death, I can tell without taking off my glasses. I see, if you say so, Shiki, then there's nothing strange about this place, perhaps. Or perhaps definitely. Arki looks like she doesn't believe me. And then the chime rings, announcing the end of the 4th period. Oh no, is it lunch already? Even though most people don't stay by this grove, since it's lunchtime there will be lots of people walking by. Anyway, if you stay here any longer, people will see us. Keep my promise for sure, so just go home and rest. We may see the enemy tonight. Oh? Sound like you want me out of the Ishiki. Starts to look angry again. Ah, that's just your imagination, so hurry on back, otherwise things might get a little hairy. Go, I push her from behind. The horizon indicates she wants to say something, she just stays silencing. After watching her kid leave, I return to the courtyard. What is it? Someone is looking this way. Senpai? Okay, he is fucked. No mistake, it's your senpai. And those eyes are scary. But why is she making that expression? She has a fearsome expression that almost makes me doubt it's actually her. Senpai. Call out to her as I run. Senpai stands there watching me. What are you doing here? The same for you, Tonokun. What are you doing there? Lunch has just begun, so for you to be back here, you must have skipped 4th period class. Of course not. Just be out of the classroom, that's all. Senpai answers without any enthusiasm. It's a normal smell, but it seems she's glaring at me. More than that, did you eat lunch yet? If not, would you like to eat with me? Try and play it off casually. Sorry, I already have someone else. Please ask me some other time. For an instant, she looks incredibly down as she says that. Senpai, what's wrong? Don't look too well. No, that isn't it. It's just that it's true that fun things end rather quickly, Tonokun. Okay. She gives a brilliant smile in contrast to before, and then she walks inside by herself. As expected, the debate over what to do for the culture festival is a stormy one. Since everyone's opinions are different, the decision gets postponed to next week. By the time it's over, it's late in the afternoon. Everyone gets up tiredly from their chairs and leaves the classroom. Well then, there's nothing to do in the classroom. I should get ready for tonight and go back to the mansion. I don't swing by anywhere else and head right back to the mansion. The sun hasn't quite set, so Akia probably isn't back yet. But Akia, I wonder if she's still not like this morning. Well, that can't be helped either. I can't tell her the truth, so I'll probably just continue to be hated as a terrible older brother. Where she some history back. Balls as I enter the mansion. Yeah, I'm back. Thanks for greeting me, history. It's been a week since I've come back, but I'm not used to it just yet. Maki isn't back yet? No. She told me to tell you she would be back especially late tonight. So please eat dinner on your own, Shigi-sama. You should still be angry from this morning. Sigh, I slump my shoulders as I start to walk to my room. And then Shigi-sama. She looks around the lobby but she speaks again. Forgive me for asking an awkward question, but will you be leaving tonight again, Shigi-sama? Yeah. She fixates her emotionless eyes on me. I think she simply wants to know what time I'll be back because she's so dedicated to her now. Letting her know means Akiha would know. I should. Still, I'll tell history the truth. That's right, no matter how hard I try, I can't hide it from history and Koku-san who are in charge of maintaining the mansion. So the least I can do is to let them know when I'll be gone every night in the following days. But to tell the truth, I'll probably live for a number of nights starting now. So I'm not just playing around for doing anything bad. Aki will probably end up hating me, but I can't stop now. Yeah, the vampire is still somewhere in town preying on victims of the person who lives here. I just can't pretend like I didn't see it. It's a burden to you, history, but please overlook it. Don't know what time I'll be back, so please just leave the gate unlocked. See someone you're saying you will not tell us why. Yeah, sorry, history, you can think I'm totally irresponsible, but please don't ask. Don't want to have to lie. No, you are my master, so it does not dispatch a master like that. Speaks plainly and without any expression. The conversation ends and I go up to my room. Return to my room. Please wait. Forgive my impertinence, but after cutting off, she tightens both her hands as she looks over at me. She would like me to, Shigi-sama. I can keep you leaving a secret from Akiha-sama. Eh? You mean you're not going to tell? Yes, after dinner it is extremely rare for Akiha-sama to leave her room. My son and I are responsible for conducting a patrol right before she sleeps, so if I do not tell the truth, she will not know. Yeah, that helps, but is that okay? Isn't she your employer? Told you are my master, Shigi-sama. I'm kind of happy. I always have to tell her to stop adding Sama. At times like this, I think I might try to be lucky. How can I help but be happy? Yeah, that helps, so if you can please do so. Then please use the rear entrance tonight. Front entrance will be locked, but if you have the key, then use the servants' entrance. You can come and leave undetected. Oh, there's a servants' entrance? No wonder I never saw you leave to the gate. No, the only one who uses that is my son. She had the key, so I will get to you later. Well, then she says, after which she bows and disappears. Alright. So this came from an unexpected source. With this, it seems I can keep my promise without worrying Akiha. After dinner, I go back to my room. It's almost 10 o'clock. While I was eating, she placed the key on my desk. Now then, shall I go? Placing my knife in my pocket, I leave my room as quietly as I can. It's probably because of all the recent murders. But it's only 10 o'clock and there's no one in the park. The empty night hangs overhead. There a white figure stands. Shiki. As soon as she sees me, Archie angrily yells at me. Hey, what time do you think it is? You're 20 minutes late. Seems she came here right on time. Yeah, sorry, I left before 10 o'clock, but it took some time trying to leave the mansion without Akiha noticing. I'll definitely be on time next time, so please forgive me. Please, she doesn't seem to realize we're going to go killing. Archie practically pouts. But told me she was waiting long before the promised time. Archie, since what time are you waiting for me? Me? Came here as soon as I woke up, so... Archie thinks this over. Probably since 7 o'clock. 7? We were waiting for more than 3 hours? When in the world was she thinking 3 hours early? Seems strange. As if truly amazed, Archie mumbles to herself. Okay. Well, I'm partly to blame because I was late, but don't you have some issues too? If you come before the agreed time, then of course you'll have to wait. Hey, that's something entirely different. The fact you're late doesn't change. Well, that is true, but why did you wait 3 hours? If you had that much time, couldn't you have just gone back to your room? I don't know why either, it somehow was fun and while I was thinking it was nice waiting for you, it was already 10 o'clock. Fun? Why? Who knows? Didn't I say I didn't understand it myself? Maybe because you killed me at that time, something broke that couldn't be healed. Things change myself, but I can't understand what's broken inside me. Uh, Having her say that is very troubling. Having sliced you into 17 pieces, if she says there's something wrong, all I can do is apologize. It's okay, we don't have much time, so we can't waste time talking about pointless things, Shiki. Yeah, saying that really helps me out. But if you're ever late again, I'll just have to go to your house and pick you up. You're the one who couldn't keep the promise, so you have no complaints, right? So no way. I'll keep it, but random unfortunate circumstances like today could happen at any time. If I'm late, that'd be the last thing you should do. Look, don't come to my house even if it's a mistake. Plus, Morakia doesn't know about all this, so please don't make things more complicated than it is. Akiha? Her sister that doesn't look at all like you? Still a little too much, but yes. I see. You're that scared of your little sister? Shut up. Just don't want to. Okay. Soy. So fucking soy. My god. The very best time I bothered to her, so I don't want to tire her out even further. You really are sweet to your sister, Shiki. I'm basically nice to everyone. Every single day has been an exception to that. Ahahaha, that's me. You're always dense. That was an insult, not a compliment. Not at all to you. I'm an exception, right? How could I not like that? Okay, she smiles again. I'll smile bright and carefree. If I keep seeing that, I'll lose all my venom. Tired all of a sudden. I start looking for the vampire kid. Yes, it's about time. Then we'll start looking around town. Shiki, I want you to take off your glasses, but is that alright? Take off my glasses, why? It's hard to notice them with just me. I can sense the presence of humans and non-humans, but that won't help me find the vampire. Well, I can sense the presence of... But with your eyes, you can quickly tell between living and dead things. So it's a waste if you don't use what we have, right? Certainly I can understand what she's saying, but taking off my glasses means... I know even I could feel your eyes getting stronger these past few days. And if you keep doing this, it may not be good for your health. I'm still saying despite that, but the choice lies up to you, so I'm not going to force you. If you think it's alright to do so, take your glasses off and follow me. Take off my glasses and walk around town. I haven't done that and since I received these glasses 8 years ago. In the first place, the things I see with my thought my glasses give me such a headache. It'd be easy to imagine what would happen if I walked around town, but still, just like Arcade keeps going. Even though her wound hasn't healed, Tonoshiki should do the same and pay back this debt. Arcade, I'm fine. Isn't it just a headache? Compared to the pain her body must be feeling, this is nothing. It's fine, I can take off my glasses. It's a small price to pay to make our search easier. I see, then let's go, Shiki. Arcade turns around and starts walking. I take off my glasses and I follow her. Follow Arcade. I haven't walked scenery so riddled with lines since my hospitalization back then. Strangely enough, I don't get a headache. It seems just seeing them would cause it. It's not the thin lines in the buildings, but seeing the lines on the people walking by makes me sick. Before I thought they were just lines that were easy to cut along, but now I know they are the death of things. That's why I feel disgust first. It's not that those figures of people scribbled over with lines are disgusting. Just seeing that humans are in existence so close to death makes me feel like throwing up. We walk the nighttime streets. Arcade doesn't say anything. She just continues to stride forth resolutely. Walk for hours in the midst of town. In the end, we don't see one aberration, not one person wrapped in death. Chick, you can put your glasses back on. It seems like no matter how much research tonight, it will be useless. Arcade concludes with a sigh. Put my glasses back on. My vision returns back to normal and I relax. Useless? Is it okay to just decide that all of a sudden? Only looked everywhere once, right? No, just once is enough. The presence of the dead tends to linger around the place. I haven't sensed any of them around at all, so there aren't any that are active. The enemy is alert now that most of his dead have been defeated. Seriously, he really is a coward. Was so prepared to finish it all tonight, but it appears he still wants to play hide and seek. Arcade bites her lip dissatisfied. Looks like you're in a bad mood, Arcade. Of course I am. Ventures has told to help me, but it's all meaningless now. Well, I don't really mind. If you're that dissatisfied, I don't mind going out to look again. Maybe if I concentrate more, we can find something. That's no good. I can't strain you anymore. Strain? I'm not really straining. You are. You might not realize it, but if you abuse your brain anymore, you might end up disabled. Disabled? Who? You. That's right. You don't exactly know how your eyes work. Okay, you said yourself it is easier to see the death of living things than non-living things, right? Basically, it's a problem of the circuitry of your brain. The death of things, being able to see that cause and effect is closer to reading than seeing. Everything has a main reason, the one source. It's the same thing that a German scientist called the Akashic record. In other words, it's in the core of all phenomenon. There's something that records all things. A German scientist, interesting. It's less of a record than an existence, so it isn't information. It just exists. It doesn't have any purpose in and of itself or any direction. It's like a root soul from which flows out all reasons. Things in the soul flowed from that, derived from that, and preserved their current form. You and I, vampires and humans, we all originated from that. Things became more complex and separate and cannot return to that original source since the beginning. Things became more complex and separate and cannot return to that original source in the beginning. But you understand that there exists the one, right? But no matter how different a form something takes from the great source, it is still a derivative. Different forms something like something itself is a derivative. So if it is only a slender line, there is a thread connecting to the source. The source of all things, the record that records the beginning and the end of all things. Being connected to that means knowing the end of all things. Originally, the brain has the ability to control reception and transmission, but most humans close off all of these circuits except for themselves. But there are those people who have their circuits open latently. Without a single use of magic circuits, there are humans who, despite not being a transcendental race, have the potential to create transcendent phenomenon. Magi classify them as being psychics. While still human, they are mutants who are born with magic circuits. Such as, without any learning of the occult, someone who can see the death of things. I'm sorry, Archie, it appears I can't understand this kind of conversation at all. It's okay if you can't understand. But what I want to tell you is, you shouldn't try to see things that are hard to see. Probably if you want to, you can see the death of non-living things, but in order to do that, your brain has to open its circuits from the classification of living things to the classification of non-living things in order to understand. That is normally an impossible process. As a result, it overloads your brain and you'll end up being useless. Useless? You mean these eyes won't be able to perceive death anymore? Of course not. Ishiki, what happens to an engine that blows up from overload? It goes to the junkyard. Once an engine breaks, you can't use it again. Oh, that's it. In other words, the headache I get from seeing death is like the screaming of an engine that is working too fast. You understand? If you can just see it, it won't be a problem. But stop trying to see things you can't perceive. The blood vessels in your brain will burst and it will be all over. I'm speechless. I've been living like this without realizing the seriousness of it all. You really have to thank the magus who gave you those glasses. Most psychics use their abilities without realizing how dangerous they are and end up disabling themselves. Well, those kinds of people are often incompatible with society, so maybe that's just for the best. Seems like that's the reason I'm here. I'll let you go back to living the life you had before. Sansa said that and gave me these glasses. I have so much to thank her for my chest items. That person in so many ways really did save me. Huh? Feel a sharp sensation. Not pain, but something strange like an itch. Shiki? What is this? It was really only just for an instant, but it was like something else in my chest. Something was in my chest. Not understanding, I placed my hand inside my shirt. Wetness. Something is sticking to my chest like ink. What is this? Something wet? I pull out my hand from my shirt. On my open palms, it's bright red blood. Sting. Another strange sensation. It takes me a horribly long time to understand that it's coming from the old scar on my chest. Shiki, that. Yeah, that's weird. It doesn't hurt and it's not even an open wound. But there's blood all over my chest. It's so red, beautiful unmuddled red that steals my eyesight. Well, it doesn't hurt, so it's gotta be okay. Seems to have stopped bleeding, so there's no need to. Aki's just dumbfounded at my hand. No more accurately, she stares at the red coating on my hand. The red coating my hand. Arcute? Arcute doesn't respond, she just has to breathe heavier. Pant as if she's trying to withstand pain. Hey Arcute, what's wrong? Does your wound hurt? I grab her shoulders and then she jumps back as if she was trying to escape. She stares at me like I'm an enemy. Arcute? Shiki? Short, clipped, her voice contains enmity. I never thought about it. She averts his gaze awkwardly. What's wrong? You're acting strange. You still haven't recovered yet? Perhaps. It seems I pushed myself too hard. So I'll go back now. Ah, yeah. Guess we'll call it a night. Yeah. I'll be waiting here tomorrow. Not looking me in the eye, Arcade leaves quickly. I go up the residential hall and arrive at the outskirts of the mansion. It's around 2 in the morning. As expected, I'm totally assailed by sleepiness. I wonder if she's going to be okay. I'm concerned about how she seemed when we parted. Seemed like it was in pain from her wound, but... what is that? Feels like there's someone lurking in the shadows, not illuminated by the streetlights. Thump. My heart stops my breath. My blood rushes through my body. This sensation. Certainly there's someone standing there. The figure gets closer and closer. Footsteps. The sound of dry footsteps reaches my ears. Thump. I have a bad feeling about this. Chills run up my spine. The figure draws near. Suddenly the streetlights shatter loudly. The moon is hidden by the clouds. The whole world instantly turns to darkness. Thump. My heartbeat skips as if warning me of death. Jump back for no apparent reason. Blade runs through the darkness, not being able to get away fully. My glasses are grazed by it. They fall to the ground with a clatter. Fool. The instant I start to say, "Are you?" the clouds part for a brief moment and illuminates the dark figure. What? A man wrapped entirely in bandages is gripping a knife. The bandaged man goes to attack me again. Quickly ready my knife and stop it. Two slivers of light shoot towards each other. Can't think calmly. The fact that I'm being attacked causes my mind to panic. Clang, clang. Sparks fly from our clashing knives and scatter into the darkness. I still can't calm down. It's not because I'm being attacked. Clang. Swing my knife to cancel out the one attacking me from every angle. Why? What's surprising is that my body is completely stopping all the attacks in this darkness without a pause. My body is moving by myself. No, that's not it. All my arms are doing is seeking out the lines and points that I can see in the darkness with my glasses off. That's all I can see, so I swing my knife to the dark after those lines. As a result, the bandaged man's knife is simply stopping mine. In other words, it's not that I'm defending myself, but he's defending himself from me. I can win. I don't know who he is, but there is no doubt I'm overwhelming him. My blood rages forth from my advantage. I'll win. I'm stronger than him because I'm stronger. Because he's trying to kill me, and I just returning the favor. Clang, clang. The sound of ringing metal echoes in the air, and I force him back towards the mansion wall. There, my eyes fixate on the line on his chest, and I thrust my knife forward. Momentarily, for some reason, I see a boy painted in blood and Akia's crying face. Go. I pull my knife back before confusion. What am I? Trying to kill someone. Why? My head hurts. My legs wobble and I stagger backwards. As I do so, I empty the contents of my stomach. My chest starts to itch. My head hurts. The old wound on my chest burns. My eyes feel like they're going to burst out of my sockets. Ha, ugh. Can't stop throwing up. The vomit splatters all over the asphalt. There, the bandaged man comes after me with his knife. Clang. Another collision. My knife shoots towards his. This time I really defend myself. I know where he's aiming. Since I know I block him once again with another clang. Clang, clang, clang. Despite not being able to see his knife due to the speed, I somehow managed to block it over and over. The reason I can defend myself is simple, because where he's aiming are the lines on my body. So I know where he's aiming at, and I understand more than anyone that having them cut would mean instant death. So I have to defend it. No wait, aiming for my lines? Ah, it's the exact opposite of before. That means don't tell me he. Cool. The bandaged man smiles in the darkness. Thump. My heart rate goes out of control. Feeling some unnameable fear, I stumble backwards. He doesn't pursue me, he just smiles. His bloodshot eyes seem to be saying, "So you finally realized it?" as he sneers at me. You can see them? Yes. He also can see the lines. Then he can also kill with one blow. Cool. The man laughs. He draws near while laughing. I went down to my fingers, gripping my knife, tremble uncontrollably. Slice, slice, slice. Sound of flesh being pierced by a blade resounds 3 times, and then a thud of a body hitting the wall. Yeah? Can't grasp the situation. The bandaged man was suddenly pierced by 3 spear-like pipes. Not just pierced, but stuck onto the wall. What happened here? Like an insect pinned in a bug collection. You're in my way. His voice grates awfully. At the same time, the 3 spears alight like candles and engulf him in flames. Ah, an anguished voice in the whirlpool of flames. In the darkness, that scene seems cruel and almost beautiful. Ah, the bandaged man, no, the bandages are burned already, his skin is showing. Wrapped in the flames, the man stares at me, his bloodshot eyes filled only with murder. His black eyes like a weapon bent on cursing Tonoshiki. Wah, stunned I can only watch. He runs off into the distance, still engulfed in flames. The moon reemerges. After those flames and that cursing voice, everything returns to silence like it was before. Fall to my knees and lean against the wall. I look up at the sky. The direction where the spears flew from, someone is standing high and far off. Far away, standing composed on top of the streetlight, I see a familiar figure. There, robes like a priest from another country, clenched in her hand, large nail-like swords, emotionless pale eyes, blue sky blue eyes. Senpai, under the moonlight you can only make out the silhouette, but she seems to resemble Senpai. Our eyes meet. The standing figure on top of the streetlight suddenly disappears like a ghost. Ah, I sit down roughly. Is it relief from my headache fading, or just the lifting of all this tension? Leaning my back against the wall, I start to drift off to sleep. Death. White. A color white summons an old memory. Something forgotten, something I was supposed to forget. Something my father commanded me to forget. A hot summer day, a blue sky and large columns of summer clouds. The wafting breeze and the droning voice of the cicadas. The voice of cicadas. Chirp, 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 chirp. So loud I want to die. Cicada shells are flying in the clearing. As the sun is right by my side, the clearing is roasting. A hot midsummer's day, as if the entire world became a frying pan. Wow, 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 wow. Akiha is crying. Akiha, who would always obediently stay close behind me, is bringing forth with tears. A child lies collapsed at her feet. His white shirt is painted red with blood and he doesn't move at all. I'm looking down at that. My hands are red just like that child on the ground. No, that's not it. These hands are red with the blood of that child. Akiha. The adults are coming. After seeing this sight, their expressions change rapidly. What in the adults take Akiha away. The child lies there, dead. In the distant sky, the white clouds. I'm left alone, staring at the sky aimlessly. Did you kill him? The adults are yelling at me. They shout my name, the one who killed the child. Those two syllables, shouting as if they went crazy. Just those two syllables. Those adults call me Shiki as my hands are stained in red. I feel like I just saw an old and familiar dream. I open my eyes. I'm in my room. After that, after losing consciousness by the mansion wall, it seems like I somehow made it back here. My thoughts still aren't coming together. Remember the whirling events of last night. That man wrapped entirely in bandages, and how he could see lines just like me. After he was impaled by the swords, his body bursts aflame, and with a voice that sounded like his dying curse, he ran off. After that, I can only remember things vaguely. The figure on top of the streetlight, that figure that saved me, that seemed to resemble CL Senpai. Yeah, right, that can't be true. Finally wake up. Putting on my glasses, I get up in bed. The clock says it's past 8. Normally I would have long since eaten breakfast by now, but today is a school holiday. Hisui isn't here. The figure of Hisui is standing before the door like a shadow is nowhere to be seen. I'm sure she came here many times to wake me up, but I never did, so she probably went off to do other duties. Sigh. I let out a deep breath. After I parted with Arkil last night, the events afterwards were beyond my comprehension. The bandaged man and that figure that helped me. They're just not things I can understand no matter how much I try. Whatever the case, I have to meet Arkil tonight. She has to be able to give me some answers. Talk to her about all these strange things. But for now, I have to just return to my normal life or I'll go crazy. Alright, first things first. Time for breakfast. People can't do anything on an empty stomach after all. Checking the sleep from my body, I go to the sitting room. Hmm? On the second floor, East Wing hallway, I see a dark uniform. It's probably Hisui. It seems like Hisui was leaving Akia's room. We actually ran into each other and I said not her to give a greeting. Hey Hisui, I call out to her. Hisui realizes I'm here and quietly walks over to me. Good morning, Shiki-sama. Yeah, morning. Sorry for just waking up whenever I feel like it. I apologize as well. I should have been there when you awoke. Please forgive me. Hisui silently bows her head. Being apologized to like this after I left in the middle of the night and managing to get back to my room, I suddenly feel like the worst person in the world. There's no need to apologize. I didn't wake up at the usual time, so it's my fault. It's okay if you want to voice your complaints. Voice my complaints? Yeah. My friend always says I'm always being a lazy bum, and he always tells me an occasional whack to my back is good to set me straight. You see, stands there thinking silently as she stares at me. It's like that for a minute. She doesn't even blink, but just stares at me. I knew forcing Hichi to do such an ordinary thing would be impossible. Don't worry about it, just forget it. More importantly, I'm kinda hungry. Is breakfast ready? My son went outside. Your breakfast is ready in the dining room. Oh, in that case, I will go have some food. Sorry to bother you while you were working. After saying a quick goodbye, I head downstairs. After breakfast, I return to the sitting room and come face to face with Hisui. Ah, that was good. Thanks for making such a great breakfast every morning. Putting my hands together in thanks. Preparing meals is Nesan's duty. If you wish to compliment the meal, please tell Nesan. He said, that's true, but your duties are really completely separate. Just like today when only I slept in, I thought you might make it. Shigasarama, you're saying the breakfast was not to your taste? Yeah? Our words are so off topic, it's troubling. Did you think I was saying I wanted her to make breakfast because the breakfast tasted bad? That's not it. Even cold, Kohaku-san's cooking is delicious. But I like it when it's warm, and it would make me really happy if I got to taste your cooking, you see. I cannot do that. Shiki-sama, I refuse to cook for you. Her eyes suddenly take on a challenging look. Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't want to force you to do anything you don't want to do. You do so much for me already. She's silent. She faces me as if she wants to say something. What could it be? Is it something that's difficult for her to say? What's wrong, Hisui? Did I do something bad without realizing it again? Hisui shakes her head no. She just stands there silently. Then I'll go back to my room. If you need me, please call for me. Later, as I start to walk out of the room. But before that, Hisui walks towards the lobby. Shiki-sama, This may be impolite, but I wanted to fulfill your request to the best of my ability. Huh? She looks directly at me. This morning I came to realize how powerless I am. 7 times. I called out 7 times, but there was no response. Is this acceptable? 7 times? What do you mean? Totally lost as to what she wants to say. She turns around. Say it candidly, I think you are very dense, Shiki-sama. Hisui disappears into the lobby with her footsteps trailing in the air. What's happening? I'm incredibly confused. Okay. Huh? Looked by myself and blurt out stupidly. After thinking to myself for a while, I finally realized she was complaining to me. It's okay if you want to voice your complaints. Said that earlier. That was my request. Yeah, there's no mistake. He was thinking about it the whole time and was waiting for me in the sitting room just to tell me. Well, that is a complaint, but you said it, but saying dense is a little too blunt, right? Don't really want to think it, but does you really hate me? Go back to my room, but I don't really have anything to do there. Think about what I should do next. I decide to walk around the mansion I haven't explored in 8 years. arrive at the lobby. Come to think of it, I was always getting yelled at for playing in the mansion as a kid. I'm not a kid anymore to play in the mansion, and my old man is also gone. I used to get so excited just walking the hallways when I was a kid, but now I don't feel. Why must I yawn? For some reason, I aimlessly wander around the mansion to confirm my childhood memories. The hallway stretches quite a long distance. When I was a child, I believed this hallway would go on forever. The mansion seemed as large as a castle, and every day I would walk a bit around the mansion and carve my name on the wall and the pillars or the floor. It was sort of a game I would play with Akia to see who could take over the mansion. Saying that wherever I put my name became my territory, it really was just the two of us walking around the mansion and carving our names here and there. Oh, here. Still here. On the handrail by the stairs is carved the name Shiki. It's probably because of these games that my old man forbade us from playing inside the mansion. Anyway, if I look closely, I can see both my name and Akia's all over the place. The spacious mansion. While I used to think of it was like a giant castle, now it almost seems like an abandoned haunted house. Because I've grown up since then, Akia and I were not the Tono Akia and Tono Shiki that we were back then. I go outside, come to think of it, most of the time we spend playing was in the garden. Another yawn, fucking hell. Since Akia was obedient to that old man, unlike me, she could only play outside for about 30 minutes a day. And so she usually just stayed behind us watching and listening. She would energetically run out with us and compete with us in whatever games we would play. Perhaps her personality stems from those times. She might have suppressed herself in front of that old man. But still, Akia has changed too much since then. Maybe these 8 years were a longer time than I thought. I go to the courtyard. Outside the walls are also inscribed with names. Shiki Shiki Akia Akiha. Shiki Shiki Akiha Shiki Akiha. Shiki Akiha Shiki 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 Shiki. The ratios are like that, and the name Shiki appeared far more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Asata Bugena. One of the Shiki is capital, the other Shiki is Shmul. I suppose Akia was just close so she couldn't keep up with the boy. Okay, jeez, it would have been better if I held back a bit. Cursing myself from that time doesn't change the number of my scribbles. If this was the case, I probably made Akia pretty angry considering how much she hates losing. I see, maybe she's taking it out on me now. Sure, she's not the kind to do that, but if she did, that's a little cute. I'm an older brother stupid for his little sister. What? Yeah, I really am. Well then. With a nostalgic, peaceful feeling, I strolled through the courtyard. Hisui? As I come to the rear courtyard, I see Hisui's figure from behind. Hisui doesn't realize I'm here. What is she doing? Going into the woods like that? A bit curious, I follow her from a slight distance, and where Hisui headed to, there seems to be a small clearing. Huh? There's a clearing in that place? Tilting my head to the side, I try to remember, but for some reason my memory is a bit vague. In the forest of the mansion, I can see a clearing as if the trees were cut there. No, can see is not quite right. If you walk by normally, you probably would never notice it. Hisui didn't walk there hidden enough by the surrounding trees as it is, or never have noticed even if I lived here all my life. Was that always there? If it was, we probably played there as kids. To say the least, I don't remember ever playing with Akia in the clearing. I feel like I've never been there before. Am I getting the bad end anyway? What happened? After thinking for a bit, I decide to go into the clearing. The clearing doesn't strike me as anything out of the ordinary. I don't see any sign of Hisui. What's this? It's just an empty place. I walk to the middle. Really is just an empty place. Empty space. Perfectly level open ground, the deep woods enclosing the area. the voice of the cicadas, and the strong summer sunshine that feels like it could dissolve. Eh? Summer? Sunshine? Ouch. The wound on my chest starts to hurt. It's like stabbing. This pain that feels like a kitchen knife stabbing my chest. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. What is this? From somewhere I can hear the voice of cicadas. But it's autumn now. The summer sunshine bathes everything in white. All you wanted was... Okay, I'll stop scanning. Columns of summer clouds in the far sky. I can practically see the voices. At my feet, discarded shells of cicadas. Discarded shell, someone's discarded shell. My wound opens. My chest becomes painted in a dark crimson black vermilion. Soaks both my hands. I don't think we've ever seen what Shiki looks like. So maybe that guy with the epic muscles, maybe Shiki looks the same. Someone's crouched silhouette, the approaching footsteps of a young girl, columns of clouds in the far sky, discarded shells of cicadas, then, in front of me, the crying face of Akia, his drenched in blood. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Ah. Voices which try to pierce my eardrums, voices of the cicadas. Agu. My chest hurts. I feel sick. My wound has healed a long time ago. Why does it hurt so much? My chest is broken. The old wound opens. Blood flows forth from the opening. What is this? My wound, it hasn't healed at all. It hurts. I'm scared. This is the impulse called death. My consciousness sinks. My wound hurts. My body collapses to the earth with a large thud. I can hear voices talking. Akia-sama, are you not going to call for a doctor? Don't be stupid, Hisui. There's no way I could do that since Nissan's wound isn't normal. Akia and Hisui are talking. This is Shiki's room. Looks like I'm sleeping in the bed. Trying to say you and get out of bed, but I can't move at all. My chest doesn't hurt anywhere, but my body feels as heavy as lead. So what's the difference between Shiki and Shiki? Type 1 loves writing stories like this. All I can move are my eyes and my mouth. Just what in the world were you trying to do, Hisui? You know not to let Shiki go near that place. Please forgive me. This can be solved by apologizing. You're assigned to serve Nisan to avoid this kind of situation. So what were you doing? Completely different from her usual manner, Akia gives full vent to her anger. In comparison, Hisui is accepting the scolding, looking down silently. Not sure how this all came about. Reckon at least still that Hisui is being yelled at because of me. Answer me, Hisui. What were you doing and where were you all day long? Hisui doesn't respond. The air grows tenser between them. Biting her lip, Akia takes a step towards Hisui. Even I can understand that Akia intends to hit her. Hisui seems to know this as well, but she just stands with her head hung in shame, ready to receive it. Hold on, Akia. Nisan, you're awake? So... Okay, I am making some assumptions that I don't want to be making. Fuck me. Yeah, you're so loud I woke up. Akia looks away uncomfortably. Hisui still keeps looking down, not even trying to look at me. You know, you shouldn't let it out on Hisui. I don't know the circumstances, but it has nothing to do with me collapsing, right? Just to do with me. It's not her fault, I just collapsed on my own. Shouldn't hard and so I managed to lift the upper half of my body off the bed. But that's all I can manage, and I don't think I can even move an inch more. But since his face is pressed, I have to force myself to act as fine as possible. What's he getting into a fight over me? Even if you look like an adult, you're still a child. But you completely fainted, Nisan. You're out for more than 10 hours and nothing like this has happened before. If you never woke up, what would I have done? Idiot, don't say things like that. Wasn't this just anemia? Huh? It's 10 o'clock already? Yes, you're unconscious since noon. She speaks hesitatingly. I wasn't worried about me, but nurse promised to meet with Arcade in the park at 10 o'clock. Oh no, I have to go, Aki, I have to go. I'll leave the rest to you. Don't bully Hisui, okay? Don't say such stupid things. I'd ask where you go every night, Nisan. Don't ask, so please at least tonight. Take it easy on your body tonight. Haha, I'm okay. This is pretty regular. When I was in middle school, I used to collapse twice a day. You know that, right, Akia? That's why I'm more worried. Nisan, please listen to what I say. At least just for tonight. She looks me in the eye with a serious expression. I do as Akiha says, you know, I have to push myself to see Arcade. We save here. We fucking save here. My god. Haven't saved once today, I think. I mean, in this session. I've been playing for hours. I'll do as Akia says. I guess it can't be helped. Afraid I'll make her cry if I keep going against her. Alright, I'll go to sleep for today. Saying that, I lie down. Really? You're not going to sneak out of the room later? No, I get it. To tell the truth, my body feels incredibly heavy. Don't think I could sneak outside. Thank goodness. Akia breathes out and relaxes visibly. Please sweet tell Kuaku that Nisan is awake. Nisan, what about dinner? Oh yeah. No, tell Kuaku-san, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can eat right now. Just going to go to sleep. I understand. Then Hisui tell Kuaku that. Still looking downcast, Hisui nods and leaves the room. Now then, lying in bed, I start to feel sleepy again. Like this, I bet I could fall asleep in less than a minute. But before that, Akia, there's a place like that in the garden? Yes, when we were children, we used to play there often. Oh, for some reason I don't remember it well. Yeah, I really did forget all about it. And one more thing, it's a weird question, but when we were kids, wasn't there another kid with us? Huh? She shakes her head like she doesn't understand what I'm saying. I guess not, there couldn't have been another kid. But if that's true, how strange. That scene I saw in my dream and the dream I saw in the clearing. These two are the same, then it doesn't make sense unless there is another kid that was killed. No, it's nothing, just talking about the dream. Is that so? Then good night, Nisan. Please rest well. Yeah, I'll do that. As soon as I answer her, I fall asleep as fast as I had passed out again. Vermilion crimson moon. Toot toot, is the window open? Another save. And restore saved game. This motherfucker. Happy she's worried about me, but I can't break my promises or good. Yesterday she waited 3 hours for me, that's not the whole reason, but with just my usual enemy I don't want her to keep on waiting. Alright, I'll go to sleep for today, saying that I lie down. Really? You're not going to sneak out of the room? Hey, now do you think that we sneak out in this way? Yes, come to think of it, that isn't true. Akia breathes out and visibly relaxes. He's sweet, Koko, and Nissan is like, Nissan will not dinner, oh yeah. Not Koko, son, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can eat right now. He's going to go to sleep. I understand, then he's sweet, Koko, for that. Shiki, still looking down, Hisui nods and leaves the room. Then I'll go back to my room. If anything happens, please call for me. No matter what time it is, I'll come right away. Akia turns off the lights and leaves the room. Sorry, Akia, saying that I lift myself up. Go. Just lift myself up because of my consciousness system. This isn't like my normal enemy. I know that, but I can't keep Akia waiting forever. Knowing her, even if I left her there, she'll wait forever. I wobble to my desk. I take my knife out of the drawer and put it on my jacket. Hey, dang, like this I won't be able to sneak out. To other up missing just a little more until I can at least run away comfortably, or else they will find me and take me back to my room. Sorry, Arthur, it looks like I'll be even later than last night. Sit down on the floor, 1 hour. If I rest for another hour, I'm sure I can leave. Make it to the park before midnight. In the end, even after waiting an hour, my body still hadn't recovered, so it took me an hour to get there. Pant heavily as my chest heaves rapidly. I look around me. Night time's over the park. Near the place we decided to meet, there's a white figure standing. I knew she'd be waiting. Let out her large breath. Seems like our kid notices I'm here. She walks straight towards me. Hey, she gets already 2 hours past her agreed time, but where she cuts off as soon as she sees my face. Hey, what's wrong, Shiggy? Your face is so pale, and I can't even sense life in you. This isn't normal. Yeah, my enemy acted up again. It happens like that every now and then. Nothing to be surprised about. More importantly, sorry for making you wait for 2 hours. Yeah, no, I really don't mind, but Shiggy, for you to come out in your condition is just weird. Even though she was really angry earlier, now it seems she's really worried. I made a promise and I said I'd help you, so I'm not going to skip out on you. That makes me happy, but Shiki, you don't seem to understand your body at all. You don't need to tell me about that arcade. I've been carrying this recurring anemia for 8 years now. I'm pretty sure I understand my body. No, you don't understand how unstable your life is. Senator, now I know clearly, Shiki. You're always standing close to death. Don't know if it's a reaction to your mystic eyes of death perception or not, but you're walking on the thin line between life and death. Saying that your anemia this time isn't a big deal because it wasn't a big deal before is a big mistake. She looks directly into my eyes coldly. Look, Shiki, resistance in that is by external means is higher than that of most people. That's probably because you've already faced death once before. But on the other hand, you almost have no resistance to death from internal causes. That enemy of yours, it would be strange if you die from it. What are you saying? I was saying I'll get killed by something like a cold? Shiki, I'm trying to warn you seriously. Glad you came, but you have to think about your health first. Just go back for now and rest. She's drawing me closer to her. She really must be worried about me because she's thoroughly defenseless as we get closer. If I can pull back her chest as mine. Thump, my head is associated with another different kind of distance than usual. All things I didn't realize before the sun. Okay, please get away. But you're saying you can't trust the word of a vampire like me? Why are you saying that all of a sudden, idiot? There's no way I won't trust you. Liar, then why can't you look at me? Could you get away from me because of a personal issue? I'm a guy, so if you get this close, it's a little troubling. Giving a small voice of surprise, Arcade gets back away for the first time. For the time being, the racking dual dizziness brought about by my enemy and Arcade subsides. As she finally realizes our situation, and she looks at me embarrassedly. That idiot. Seeing her do that makes me think she's incredibly cute. That is troubling. I should stop. I'm over that quietly so not to be heard. Those words are not directed to her but to me for being excited by her. There really is something wrong, no matter how precious she's a vampire. So what am I thinking for something like that? Anyways, I'm not the breed to have you start worrying about me. Besides, if I was attacked like I was last night again, I might really die. So I can't take my time doing this. Eh? Shiki, what did you just say? Said if I was attacked like I was last night, I might really die. He's trying to, so we have to find him as soon as possible. Saying that, I suddenly remember. I forgot. Last night I was attacked by one of those dead. Last night, after we parted? Yeah. He was entirely wrapped in bandages and was waiting for me by the mansion. Like his expression suddenly turned serious. I can't believe it. How could you forget something so important? I couldn't help it. I've been through stranger things today. Oh, well, more than that, please tell me in detail what happened, Shiki. Serious eyes Arcade interrogates me on what happened. Let's see. I calm down and describe things as quickly as I can. What happened last night? But I don't tell her that the bandaged man was seeing the lines of death. Can't prove it, so maybe it might have been just my mistake. Yeah, that's how it was. Finishing my explanation, I read Arcade's expression. From when I started until now, her eyes remained sharp without any gentleness. So what is it, Arcade? That bandaged man and that person wearing those robes like some priest, are they enemies of yours? Yes, both of them are enemies. Don't know just who or what that bandaged man is, but that woman wearing those Catholic robes have an idea about. She narrows her eyes as if she was in a bad mood. Now she looks like she was... She looks less like she was in a bad mood and more like she's irritated. I may know the person who helped you, Shiki. Man, if it's really her, she'll probably be able to find the enemy before me. She bites her lip vexedly. Wait a minute, I didn't say that person was a woman, though. No, there's no mistake. That woman is the only agent given authority to hunt heretics alone, and who uses black keys that combine the cremation rite and the steel shell effect. Okay. Her irritability is almost like hostility. Even when she spoke about Dash, her voice was never saturated with emotion to this extent. Arcudum, that person who helped me, is she a vampire? Of course not, she's a member of those who see vampires as their enemy. Doesn't exist in this country, but there's an organization that considers vampires are beast-men as heretics and goes around killing them. The one who helped you was the most troublesome of that kind, exorcists. But that's strange, the burial agency wouldn't have sent an agent this soon. Arcade speaks softly to herself. I can't understand what the hell she's talking about. Exorcist, like a priest or something? Yeah? It's not wrong, but it's not quite right either. Well, it would take a long time to explain, so just know for now that there are those who go around exterminating vampires. She tells me just to understand, but more importantly, why did you fight? You said you'd team up with me, but you never said you'd fight by yourself. She glares at me. Seems seriously concerned about my safety. That's not fair, Shigi, keeping it a secret, having all that fun by yourself. Or not. Now, how did you jump to that insane conclusion? Huh? You weren't trying to hide your monopoly on prey from me? Just something so absurd with a straight face. He did, that's not it at all. Fighting him was just a turn of events. Just a turn of events. I don't plan to fight with the dead or vampires without you. Oh? What kind of turn of events? I suggest this as a normal person or something like that. Kind of regret it now. Justice? She tilts her head as if to say, what's that? Yeah, I was painfully shown yesterday it is just a justification. Back then, when I realized that there was a figure in front of me, there was only fear. That thing, that guy, I knew right away he was a normal, but all I could do was tremble. And then I brought out my knife to meet him and began to fight to the death. Can't kill someone using a cheap motion like justice. People who kill to preserve their own life. That's the most primitive, simple logic of the beasts. Argue that person who came to help me. Can you tell me a little more about her? There's nothing more to tell. She's an inquisitor from the church. What I said earlier, the group that's like Ramses to all vampires. This burial agency, not so much exorcists as murderers, no killing machines, are a specialized group responsible for dealing with heretics. We're surprised that the rise reach even in the Far East. Arkit crosses her arms while deep in thought. She looks devoid of emotion, entirely different from before. She's serious. She must be thinking more seriously about this than the enemy she's after. Arkit, I don't quite understand, but those exorcists and vampire race. Aren't you their target too? I asked her that because I'm a little worried. Yeah? Of course not. They're only natural enemies of the dead apostles. Don't fundamentally mess with each other, so there cannot even be a fight. But if she is who I think she is, then she has to be armed with the seventh holy scripture. There's the danger of her getting there first. Getting there first? You can't quite grasp what she's saying. Don't get the details, but it seems like Arkit doesn't appreciate the emergence of this person who resembles him by entering the stage. I guess it doesn't concern me. Well then, now that we're calmed down, shall we begin? We didn't come here for nothing, so maybe we should find at least one of the dead. Here's what you're saying with such a pale face. You are off topic, but you said something weird, but didn't I tell you to pay more attention to your body? Arkit glares at me. Didn't think she was before, but she does seem honestly concerned about me. Okay, your body is more unstable than most people, so if you don't rest at a time like this, you're risking your life. You pass out a lot not because of anemia, but because your body understands it's in danger. Your body senses the danger before you do, so it stops working to prevent your body from getting any worse. Yeah, for real? There's no reason for him to lie, right? Anyway, I warned you. Whether you believe me or not is up to you, Shiki. Up to me? Well, I don't think there's any reason for you to lie to me. As I speak, I sink deep in thought. I always thought I passed out because my body was weak from anemia, but now she's saying it's because my body is trying to protect me like a safety switch. What is this? Anyway, we won't go investigating tonight. I don't think the enemy will appear until his wound is healed. If he appeared by her house without using the dead, that means he doesn't have any left. She says this all severely. If he says so, I can't argue. In the first place, it's impossible for me to go look for vampires by myself. Alright, says Arkit, I'll rest for tonight. Yes, please do. Not only did you get attacked last night, your body is so weak now. It will be troublesome if you don't sleep tonight and return to your normal self by tomorrow. I see it's true that I can't really help you in this condition. Okay, I'll get myself fixed by tomorrow. No, that's not it. It's boring talking to you when you're like this, so I just want you to be back to normal, that's all. She almost seems disappointed. Not as useless if I understand her. I'll be heading back to the mansion. See you tomorrow, Arkit. Raising a hand, I start to walk back. Hey, Shiki. Arkit stops me. What? Is there something else? Should I escort you home? She averts her gaze and speaks hesitatingly. Normally she lays worried about what happened last night. Thinking this, I guess it's not that bad. Oh, if I can say yeah, I suddenly stop. Wait. Aren't you forgetting your vows you made just now, Shiki? No matter how pretty she is, Arkit is a vampire. I can't forget that. I relate myself to Arkit more than necessary. I feel I'll cross the line that I should never cross. Screw that, I don't need to be worried by you. Don't do things that don't suit you, stupid. Ah, yeah. This is for just an instant. Arkit looks simple, then raises her head. Can see you tomorrow. Asoda. Waving her hand goodbye energetically, the white clothed vampire walks off into the darkness of the night. Did he just kill himself? DNM? What the fuck is a DNM? Vermilion Crimson Moon. So I have two saves that are very important right now, both at 1720. In my dream I'm staring at the moon. I can't remember where I am or why I'm looking up at it. Maybe I looked up into the night sky not wanting to see anything and the moon happened to be there. My back creaks, coursing through my veins is an image of coldness. A solitary darkness that makes me dizzy. A radiant moon that sickens my heart. Strange. The overwhelming coldness feels more like a sense of nostalgia. Shigu-sama. He hears his voice mingling with the morning light. Shigu-sama, it is time, please wake up. Her infectionless voice wakens me. I shall go procure food. As soon as I wake up, terrible things enter my vision. I get a headache like I was just shot in the head. I almost lose my just awakened consciousness. Before I fade away completely, I quickly grab my glasses. Shigu-sama, are you not feeling well? No, I'm just a little tired from yesterday. I'll be alright, so don't worry. Lastly, shaking my head, I clear my head of what I was seeing. Last night I forced myself to keep my promise with Arcade, so my body isn't back to normal yet. Good morning, Hisui. Thanks for coming to wake me up as always. Sitting up in bed, I do my best to smile naturally. No, this is my duty. There's no need for you to thank me. Shiki-sama. Really, but I'm grateful. Hearing feels better than an alarm clock. I stand up. It's not yet 7 o'clock, but about 10 minutes earlier than I usually get up. Breakfast? I'll be there soon, so please go ahead of me. Yes, I'll wait for you in the sitting room. Giving about his exits the room. Well then, I'm still feeling a little sluggish, but it's not too bad to skip school. I'm sure after I eat the breakfast caucus and prepared, I'll feel a lot better. As usual, Aki is sitting on the sofa and Hisui is waiting by the wall. Good morning, Miss Sunday. You sleep well? Okay, greets me calmly as I entered the room. She doesn't know I left last night. Since she was so worried, I feel guilty for sneaking out. Yeah, good morning, Akia. You're up early today too. No, I'm like always. Nissan? I was reading my mind, she looks directly at me. Is there something on my face, Akia? No, that is a dip. Nissan, are you really alright? You still do not look well, so if you're still sick, maybe it's better if you just rest today. Oh, that's it. I realized she did not find out about last night. No, I'm really okay. I'll be better sooner or later, so please don't look so worried. Okay. She says something, I'll not say anything. She goes quiet, still looking worried. It's quite rare for you to be convinced this quickly. It's not like you. Yeah, I'm always sensible. I only warn you because you're the one with the problems. So please do not blame me for your imperfections. She glares at me. Oh, that's more like it. Hey, Hisui, does it not feel like morning when the Sakia gets harsh? It's because I suddenly called out to her because she doesn't know what to say. Hisui neither confirms nor denies my statement. See? Look, Akia, Hisui thinks so too. Don't be foolish. Hisui doesn't say anything because she is surprised. Wrinkling her forehead in a frown, Akia glares again. Also, I've always wanted to say this, but you rely on Hisui too much. You've been sleeping since yesterday, so it would have been fine if you woke up earlier. But you always wake up late. Are you slacking off because Hisui does not say anything? What? Make it sound like I'm causing her trouble. Not like you are causing her trouble. Hey, don't you think so, Hisui? Hisui still doesn't say anything and stands there quietly. See, Hisui says she thinks so too. No way, she didn't say anything. Hisui is silent, but her silence feels like she's agreeing more with Akia. Feel like it's now 2 against 1. Shigi-san, breakfast is ready. With great timing, Kohaku-san's voice echoes through the room. I'm gonna go eat. Quickly head towards the dining room. Feel the silent pressure of the two behind me drilling into my back. After breakfast, I head back to the sitting room. Akia isn't there and Hisui is only one standing, huh? Akia left for school already? Yes. There's also time for you to go to school as well, Shigi-sama. It's already 20 after. Guess I should get going. To be honest, I still don't feel too good, but I'm sure I'll return to normal soon. Sorry, Hisui, can you get me back from my room? I'm going to wash my face. As you wish. After getting all my preparations done, I leave the mansion. Holding my bag, Hisui sees me off at the entrance. I'll be going. I'm not sure when I'll be back, but probably by dinner. Yes, I'll be waiting. She gives a silent bow. There's a trace of uneasiness in her face. Hisui, are you feeling sick? No, it's not me, but you do not appear well. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to let you go. She speaks hesitatingly. I'm alright. I don't feel great, but just a little heavy. Geez, both you and Akia like to worry a lot. Is that so? If it is just us, then that will be fine, but... Geez, I'll come back early today and rest. So that should be good, right? I won't overdo anything, so don't look like that. Yes, forgive me, Shigi-sama. She still looks very worried. I'm off. I'll be better by the time I get back, so please relax. Shigi-sama. I ignore her and leave the mansion, then with Hisui watching me uneasily bends in my head. I head towards school. My feet are heavy and it feels like I'm in another person's body as I head down the hill. It's probably just the weariness from last night. Even though I thought I would recover right away, the sluggishness doesn't fade. It's 10 minutes until 8. The school gate is flooded with arriving students. By the gate I see a familiar figure. So senpai, it's a completely normal morning scene. But what I saw at that time, it was for that it would be a normal warning. Not even knowing what I plan on doing, I chased after Senpai. Senpai, I call after her. Oh, good morning, Tono. Can you change meeting out here? Yeah, I saw a figure from behind, so I ran after you, Senpai. There was something I wanted to ask. I sneak a look at her face. Yes, what is it? She faces me with her usual gentle smile. Oh, Senpai, 2 nights ago, were you near my house? In a black coat and skirt flying in the wind. Question mark, what are you talking about? Well, yeah, the high-list boots suited you. I was kind of fascinated. You looked really cool. Huh? Senpai tilts her head. Sounds like she doesn't understand my words completely and then denies it. I don't quite understand, but you're saying that I was near your house 2 nights ago looking like that? Yeah, Senpai, that was you, right? No way. Tono-kun, are you saying I look like I really have that much free time? Senpai is really angry. She can't be playing dumb or lying. No, that's not it. But I just saw someone that looked like you in the park last night, so... Senpai gives a sigh. Tono-kun, that wasn't me. I don't have that kind of hobby. Yeah, I know. I just wanted to ask. Suddenly, after having her say that she is right, still Senpai and the person that night aren't related at all. In the first place, Senpai is just a normal person, and if she was actually there, she had to have seen me fight that bandaged guy with my knife. She saw such a gruesome scene, there'd be no way she could talk with me normally like this. Sorry, please forget about it. I guess it was just someone else. That's fine, but did that person really look like me? That weird person? Well, I'm not too sure. It was dark and far away, huh? Yeah, it was far and I couldn't make out her face. So why did you think it looked like Senpai? Maybe there is something wrong with me. Cross my arms and think. Then the 10-minute bell rings. Crap, will be late. Bye, Senpai. See you later. Dash into my classroom. It's still 5 minutes before class, so it's very noisy inside. Ariko isn't here. Knowing him, he'll probably come in around the second period. Lunchtime. Looks like Ariko's not coming. Inui, Ariko and Yumizuka Satsuki are the 2 people absent today. Yumizuka Satsuki has caught a cold or something and she'll be absent for a while. Senpai doesn't seem to be coming too, so I guess I'll eat by myself. Say that, but I'm not hungry. What is it? I didn't feel so good to begin with, but after coming to school I feel a lot worse. It's not just my body feeling heavy. The scar on my chest is irritating. It's an annoying sensation. Maybe I shouldn't have come to school. For a brief moment I see the funny increases of Ishii and Aki in my brain. Maybe the fact that I ignored Aki as she swam into dress last night and innocent went to see Arcade might have caused this. Being worn out by just sitting, I start to feel a strange uneasiness. Class has started already. Which class was it? Can't remember today's 5th period lesson. Even though I look at the blackboard and stare at the marks left behind by the teacher's chalk, I still don't know what class this is. I have food. Let's see if he dies first. Can't read it. The letters start to flow like water and mix together like some sort of hallucination. Ugh, feel like I'm going to throw up. Dizziness, my mind starts to slide away. Click, click, tremble, tremble. Creak, creak, wobble, wobble. Actually, I'm just gonna eat. Fuck this shit. I shall be saving here. Still nothing, I assume? Yep. There's something here. No. And they're cute. There's very little for Arcade despite me having been playing her out the entire fucking time. Come on. This game has so much content. Come on. Fucking hell.